they throw them out. I've noticed this with a number of people, and I've always wanted to say,
Well,
what are you
I love
throwing that away for?
leftovers.
I mean, you have enough food on there for 2 more meals. But some people were brought up to pitch it. And
Well, that's very wasteful.
Oh, totally wasteful, yes, very egregious.
I mean, I love leftovers, and I can recombine them and make new things out of them. And
well, I think you really need to do a leftover cookbook.
But how can you do a leftover cookbook, Steven?
Well, you have chapter 1, table scraps. Okay. Chapter 2, soups.
No, I don't think it works that way. I think what you do is you might do an original recipe, and then you could say different things that you could do with the leftovers. Now, that might make sense.
But you have a phrase of foods that you make called never again.
Never again.
And if you had written down every never again, you'd be a hit on the cooking channel.
I don't know about that, dear.
Oh, you would. You'd be a big hit on the cooking channel. Some of your never agains are really remarkable. We have our differences in terms of tastes and food. Tasha doesn't like hot peppers, for instance.
Well, it isn't that I don't like them.
They don't like you?
They don't like me.
No, well, they love me. They
and then once I stopped eating them, they got more hot. So I really, if any time I have even a little bit, I can really taste it.
Well, I'm glad your taste buds are
my tongue
functional.
will get very...
In my dotage, my taste buds go to Miami every now and again. And when they do that, it's cardboard and saran wrap, you know.
Well, you know, I read something interesting about
yes, that was funny.
person's...
I tried.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I read something interesting about tongue. The tongue?
The tongue, yes.
Yeah, and it gave an example of something you could do, because there's all these different tasting sites on your tongue, and as you get older, some of them, I guess, go away or something. But it was a very interesting experiment whereby you could tell how many little tasting thingies you had on your tongue.
Tasting sites like www.tongue.org?
Yeah,
no.
something like that.
It's
a very interesting book. It's called You on a Diet.
You on a Diet.
And it's by Dr. Oz and somebody else
That's
whose
right.
name I don't remember.
I've been on a diet since I was 40 years old, pretty much.
No, you haven't.
Well, I'm very careful, you know.
No, you haven't.
I tend to bloat towards corpulence in an easy way. So I tend to be very careful what I eat, which is why I love to be invited out to dinner. Because when I'm invited out to dinner or invited to your home, sky's the limit. You know, I'll clean out your fridge, all the cheese that you've been saving up for that big party you can serve to us. But at home, I'm a very quiet, conservative
What do you
eater.
call being on a diet? I want to hear more about this.
Well, in the best of all possible worlds, I'd say I would wake up in the morning and I would have a glass of iced tea.
Uh-huh.
I'd start that. I'd start the day with iced tea and maybe, a mango or a papaya if we had one in the house. And that could pretty much see me through breakfast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You're not going to have any I've never known you to survive on fruit and tea for breakfast.
It's always the first time. I'm thinking idealistically, you know. It's
You
different when the lights go out and it gets real.
Until 10 o'clock comes and you say, oh, I'm starving. When are we having lunch?
No.
And lunch isn't for 2 more hours.
Now, 10 o'clock is coffee break or mid-morning snack.
So you're going to start the morning with fruit and tea, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
At 10 o'clock, maybe
What are you going to have for your snack at 10 o'clock?
a burrito.
So I'm supposed to cook you breakfast or fix you breakfast, and then at 10 o'clock, less than 2 hours later, I'm going to make you something more, and then we'll have lunch, right?
Yes.
That's 2 hours later.
Yes.
So how much time do I have to spend in the kitchen here feeding this?
I'll do it. I'll do it myself.
Oh.
I can do it. I can cook, you know. I know you don't accept that. Women hardly ever accept the fact that their husbands can cook.
Well, no, there are women who don't like to cook, and I'm not one of them.
I'm glad you're not, but I survive very, very nicely when you're away. We've covered this before. It's the one-pot cooking.
Yes, I know. We talked about that many times.
One pot, one bowl, great meal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, you asked me, and so I would have like iced tea and fruit, and then 10, 11 o'clock, I'd have an early lunch. I'd probably have a burrito or a ham and cheese croissant something warming and loving. And then maybe some soup later on in the day, around 2 o'clock, have a cup of soup. And then for supper, something light.
What about tea? Don't you have tea time 2 hours later?
Well, there's always tea.
At 2 to 4 and 6? You know, so
Yes.
you're going to be eating something at 8 and something at 10.
No.
Something at 12 and
No.
something at 2. Something at 4 and something at 6. 6 little meals. There are people
Small.
who do that.
Small
But then they're
meals.
very small meals.
A very
So
small
you wouldn't
meal.
have a whole burrito. You'd have a half a burrito.
No, I'd have a burrito with sprouts. I mean, that
a
would be
burrito,
my big
burrito
meal
is a
for
full,
the day.
a full meal.
How many calories is that? About
I don't remember.
120 or something?
I have to look. I have to look on the package.
But
I think it's more than that.
basically, what I would do is, well, I do this when you're away, when you're at one of those poetry conferences or one of those big bake-off things that Betty Crocker throws.
No, I would love to.
you
I'd
go
love
to.
to be on one of those things, but I've given up entering those contests.
Well, if you come up with new delectable things, you should be able to.
I know, but
The
they
spelt
like-
manufacturers of America should award you medals. I mean, this woman pushes spelt bread, and the brown spelt is pleasant.
just because you don't like something doesn't mean it isn't good.
No, it's fine if you like sawdust. I mean, sawdust has
Oh,
its own
please.
thing. Anyway, back to sitting there on
You
the
could have a
couch.
grilled cheese sandwich for lunch if you
I
want.
love grilled cheese. Oh, but back to that moment of truth, where we're sitting on the couch. All sorts of conniption is going on outside. I looked out I got up and I went and I looked out the window, and the parking lot was a river. There was just water swirling around the parking lot. And I did, after that, the only thing a man could really do when faced with this kind of a catastrophe.
What's that?
I went to bed.
No, we didn't go to bed until
I went.
until after the rain and the thunder had passed.
Well, it's past, but it was out there, and I just decided.
And it was and we went out on the porch.
Yeah, we sat
and we
on.
sat with our neighbor.
Yes, we sat on
and
the
that
porch.
was fun.
And we observed the.
And the rain coming down, and some of it sort of wet us a little bit, but that was all right. It was kind of romantic.
We talked about the rapture.
Yes.
And the whole dynamic of the rapture.
Yes.
And I came to a kind of realization that everyone is concerned about December 21st, 2012. That's the new.
Yeah. That's the new day of doom.
The new day of doom. And
D-Day.
D-Day.
Doom day.
Doom day. But supposing everything is getting more intense, the rain is more intense, the heat is more intense. Instead of being in the low 80s, it's going to hit 100. And so we have this process whereby the weather is getting more dominant, more dominant. I'm fearful of the hurricane season this year. You talk to meteorologists about it, and they sort of cringe and look at you and shake their head in dismay. And I remembered all the stuff Al Gore had said in his movie and in his book. And I think it's important, and I mean, I'm really serious, I think it's important for people to become centered and for people to find love within their hearts, within themselves, and embrace simplicity. And of course, around here, all the stores are leaving anyway. You know, we don't have Borders anymore, and Big Y.
Well, they're not all the stores.
Big Y is gone. They're just
Well,
the
there's
ones
a couple
we
of
like.
stores.
You know.
A couple
And,
of places that we usually go are going.
But I think that there's going to be a big change in terms of supply and demand. I'm glad we make sprouts. I think we should make way more sprouts than we make. And a diet of sprouts and iced tea wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
We get very thin.
Yeah, I know. I'd love it. Let's do that for a week.
No.
Sprouts and iced tea. And cake.
No.
Wonderful chocolate cake, sprouts, and iced tea.
Oh, there would be a war in the middle.
But you think?
Yes, I know. Sprouts and chocolate cake do not agree.
How do you know that?
I know that.
You've read something that I haven't seen. Well, we could expand it to iced tea, sprouts, fruit, and chocolate cake with frosting. Now that would, to me, that would make a really nice way to spend the summer. Instead
I
of
think
having
you'd
to,
get bored of it very quickly.
well, we would need to find other
Even chocolate
things.
cake palls when you've eaten it for a whole week.
Well, we wouldn't eat it for a whole week. We'd have like brownies and fig Newtons and
Yeah.
other interesting things.
Who is going to bake all this, by the way?
Those cool people down at the market.
Oh, all right.
I wouldn't inflict
So we're going to
that on
purchase
you.
all this chocolate cake.
I wouldn't inflict that on you.
I am not a chocolate cake devotee. I'm sorry. But you can enjoy all the chocolate cake you want.
What
I'm
would you
not
like?
going to eat any.
Raspberry scones, raisin scones. Ah, scones is the secret word. With
scones are
marmalade?
good.
Yes.
Orange, no, not marmalade, ginger jam.
Ginger jam and scone. You would have ginger jam and scones, and I would have the most egregious looking chocolate cake with frosting that dates back to the Roman Empire. And we'd be very happy, and we wouldn't gain a lot of weight because we'd be really packing in the sprouts. And we'd save a heck of a lot of money on food if we did this.
Well, that's a fact.
Oh, we'd save a great deal of money
That's
on
a
food.
fact.
Yeah.
We would. We definitely would.
Are you willing to do this?
No.
And we'll talk about it next month when we come
No,
back.
I'm not willing to do it.
You're not?
No, I'm
Spirit
not.
of adventure,
No, it would be boring.
gastronomical adventure.
I'm sorry. It would be
But
boring.
then, you see, the money that we paid for all of these other trivialities at the market, which we wouldn't need anymore, I could take you away.
Yes, but wherever we went, we would have to take our sprouts and our...
Yes, yes, we bring our sprouts with us in a cooler.
Ooh.
We'd have them in the car.
Ah.
Wouldn't you like that?
Oh, you come up with the most amazing ideas. Oh, my gosh.
It would be wonderful.
Oh,
We'd
my
have-
gosh.
We'd never have to be enslaved to our stomachs again. What we would do is we would eat our sprouts.
No, we
and
would just be really grumpy all the time.
we wouldn't be grumpy in the least. We'd be
Yes,
touring.
we
We'd
would
be
be
traveling
grumpy.
about.
We would be grumpy because we would be hungry.
No, we wouldn't be hungry because we would always be able to go into a fine gourmet restaurant and order dessert. You see. Strawberry frushy frou, you know. And,
So what about protein?
well, sprouts give you protein.
Do they give you protein?
Yeah, a little turkey jerky maybe, if we needed some extra protein. But
How
some
about
tofu
hard-boiled eggs? Maybe we could have hard-boiled eggs.
and the tofu. I could do that.
Hard-boiled eggs and sprouts.
And tofu.
And
fried tofu.
No.
Don't need the tofu.
Don't need the tofu. So hard-boiled eggs and sprouts, and then all the desserts you want.
Yeah,
Ah, what a diet!
yeah, that would work. That would be good.
Oh, you are amazing.
We'd be happy. We'd lose weight. We'd get new clothes. I'd go
I don't
down.
want to get new clothes. I like my clothes.
Well, I'd go down a couple of inches in the waist.
You can get new clothes if you want.
I don't need new
I'm very
clothes.
happy with the clothes I have.
I'd be happy to get rid of the suspenders and go back to a belt. I'm hoping to lose
Well,
weight
yeah,
so I can do
but
that.
Losing weight won't do that. You have to do the exercises to shrink the belly.
We'll talk about exercise next time.
Next time we'll
Next
talk about
time we'll talk
exercise,
about-
right.
About
And it's time to wind up.
so anyway, folks, sprouts, iced tea, and chocolate cake.
Oh,
we have
Stephen.
made a revelation here, and the Lord spoke on to Moses, saying,
Oh, come on, give me a
"Sprouts,
kiss.
iced tea,
And chocolate.
and
Cake.
chocolate cake." It's been fun.
We'll see you the next time.
We're here all summer.
Bye
If you
for
have
now.
a pool, invite us over. We'd love to swim.
Bye for now.
Cheers.